In this video, we'll be walking through how to use Auria's SonarWorks integration, from the initial measurement through to using those measurement results to create a custom profile that can be stored in Auria and instantly recalled with a single button press. Every Auria unit has a SonarWorks Sound ID reference microphone and a 60-day trial of the Sound ID reference for multi-channel software included in the box. It is worth noting, profiles created with the Sound ID reference for multi-channel trial will expire and no longer work after the 60-day trial period has elapsed. In order to continue using those profiles, you will need to purchase a full license of the Sound ID reference for multi-channel software from SonarWorks. In this video, we're going to go through the calibration process in 3 steps. Firstly, preparation, getting Auria working and set correctly. Secondly, the measurement process using the Sound ID Reference Measure app. And thirdly, creating and loading a calibration profile into Auria using the Sound ID Reference app. Before we start, it is important to mention that the calibration capabilities provided by Auria should not replace proper room acoustic treatment and proper speaker positioning. We highly recommend making every effort to address any acoustic issues with your room before using our calibration features. Before we load up the Sound ID reference measurement software called the Measure app, there are a couple of things we need to prepare. Firstly, make sure all of your speakers are connected to the correct outputs and match the naming convention on the rear panel of Auria. If, for example, the left height speaker is connected to the output for the rear surround channel, the calibration process will be confused and give a substandard result. The outputs on the rear panel of Auria are labelled to match the standard as defined in the Auria software app, and these also match the Dolby Renderer's standard output definitions. If using the AES outputs, make sure these are manually assigned to the correct speakers using the Auria software app before starting measurement, as the channel routing will be sent to the Measure app. Next, we need to set up our bass management if necessary. Bass management is used to take the low-end signals from individual speakers and redirect them to the subwoofer. This is especially useful if your speakers are small and not capable of reproducing these low frequencies. This needs to be set first so that Sound ID reference is not trying to compensate for those smaller speakers' low-end responses. The exact settings for this are dependent on recommendations from your speaker manufacturer. Much larger full-range speakers may require no bass management at all, or a low cutoff such as 40 Hz, while smaller speakers such as compact height speakers may require a much higher cutoff frequency. Next, make sure your speakers are emitting sound at the same volume level. If one or more of your speakers are very loud or very quiet compared to the others, we recommend using your active speakers or amplifiers volume controls to make sure levels match. Dolby recommends setting your subwoofer to be 10 decibels higher than the channel volume to give increased headroom for the LFE audio. This is defined in both the Auria software app settings and the Measure app, so make sure that those are matched. If these are not aligned, the Measure app will let you know at the measurement stage. Once this preparation is complete, it's time to fire up the Sound ID Reference Measure app. Make sure the measurement microphone is plugged in on a sturdy microphone stand and phantom power is engaged. If using Auria as a USB audio interface, we recommend using input 1 on the front panel of Auria. If using Auria as a standalone monitor controller, make sure the Sound ID reference measurement microphone is connected to the system via a microphone preamp with as little coloration as possible. When you open the Measure app, the Auria software app will prompt you to go into measurement mode. Any EQ and delay controls will be disabled during this process. The Measure app will now walk you through the next part of the process, where the microphone is used to determine calibration parameters for each speaker. You will be guided through this process via the instructions on screen. This measurement process will take 40 to 60 minutes depending on the number of channels. Let's take a look at this process with Yugis Campos from SonarWorks.
Let me take you through the measurement process. Once you have finished installing the software and the license key has been activated, open up the Sound ID Reference Measure app. I will refer to this as simply the Measure app. The first step is to select the speaker configuration. We will be measuring a 9.1.4 setup today. Make sure to carefully follow the on-screen checklist. The next step requires you to select the microphone input channel. Make sure input channel signal is detected. Although third-party microphones can be used for the measurements, we highly recommend using the Sound ID reference measurement microphone. Each and every microphone has been individually measured before. You will find a unique code on the back of the mic. Insert this code into the empty field here. This will upload the frequency response profile of this particular mic in 3 different angles. Having frequency response profiles in different angles is very important due to the nature of measuring an immersive audio setup. This information is normally not available. If you are planning to mix for Dolby, choose the plus 10 dB LFE setting. If not, choose the same level as the other channels. The output channels should be assigned automatically, but make sure that everything is correct by playing a sound on each of the channels. Make sure that you follow the video instructions on the app. Most importantly, clear out anything that you could bump into and prepare the microphone as indicated in the tutorial. Once ready, adjust the input gain of the microphone until you reach the required level. As the next step, you must select between the metric or the imperial system. We will proceed with the metric system. During the next procedure, the Measure app gathers important information about the setup. Hold the microphone 1 to 2 centimeters away from the mid-range driver and stand to the side.
Stay where you are. Measurements in progress.
The software will calculate the distance between the front speakers. You can review the results and adjust accordingly if necessary. The next step is to position the microphone in the listening spot. The general recommendation is to aim for your stereo listening position to be in a perfect triangle. Once again, you can review the results and adjust accordingly. In the next section, the software will detect whether all of the playback audio from your speakers is at a good level to perform frequency response measurements. If any of the channels do not fall within a ±3 dB range compared to the target channel, a volume mismatch will be detected, displaying the differences. You can choose to either manually adjust the output levels on the speakers according to the measurement results, or skip the speaker volume adjustment and let the software correct the output level inconsistencies later. The second to last step will determine the speaker delays. Once again, make sure to step out of the speaker area. We are now done with the preparations. The last step of the measurement process will take you through 37 measurement points around the room. You will have to pick up the microphone and move around the room based on where the software tells you to place the mic. Once placed correctly, step out of the speaker area and repeat the process as instructed. Now that you have finished the measurement process, you will be prompted on screen to save your measurement results.
Once the Sound ID Measure app has finished the measurement process, it will give you the option to save your results as a file. Go ahead and do that now. The next stage is Auria profile creation. When the Measure app finishes measurements, it gives us a calibration profile which would change the EQ target of our speakers to be flat and neutral. In many cases, this is the perfect ideal, but there are cases where we might want to use the calibration profile in a different way. For example, the Dolby Atmos music target has slightly more low-end and slightly less high-end than flat, and using a custom target, we can change this to however we see fit. It's important to note that if you made your measurements and exported the calibration in your 60-day trial period, this Aurea profile will expire at the same time as your 60-day SoundID reference trial. However, if you then decide to purchase the SoundID reference multi-channel license, there's no need to do the whole measurement process again. Just export your calibration file from the SoundID reference app again, and the license data will be carried over when you now import this into Aurea, and this new version of the profile will be perpetual. This covers the SoundID calibration features in Aurea. We hope this helps you get the most out of your immersive experience. You can find more information on our YouTube channel covering the software and general setup to get you started. Thanks for watching and have fun mixing immersive.